everyone, it's Shell from Scrap Secrets and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're going to be using the Waffle Flower Postage stamp die as well as some coordinating layering stencils to create this card. I'm going to start out with a piece of white cardstock and I used my die cut machine to cut out the die. Going to put it in my stamp wheel and then we're going to get started inking up these images. The first two that we're going to ink up are going to be the openings for the sand in the top two left openings. So I'm going to be using some antique linen and then I'm going to go in with some tea dye distress oxide to just add a little bit of dimension to it. So we're going to do that and then I'm going to go back and forth in all the different little openings and go ahead and use distress oxides to ink up the images. So you can see here that I've kind of created masks from some extra packaging because I really should have been probably using smaller brushes with these, but I decided to use the big ones that I had. I was too lazy to go to the other side of the room and get the little ones that I probably should have used, but this was the first time and I didn't think that I was even going to make a card out of this. I thought that it was just going to be trial, but I love the way that it came out. There's so much detail in this stencil and I can't wait to try the other ones. So I'm just going to be going in with the different colors of Distress Oxide. This is Tumbled Glass, so we're going behind the other images for the sky for that, and then we will continue to do the layers for each and every image until they are finally done. So I'll use the waffle flower packaging for most of the masking, but I also do use some washi tape. So you'll see me go in with, I believe this is Mermaid Lagoon, and then or Salty Ocean, and then I go in with Mermaid Lagoon. So I am using a bunch of different colors, but I tried to make sure that they coordinated with each other and that I use them in more than one area, with the exception, I think, of the beak for the seagull. I think that I only used the beak and maybe the black for the eyes in just the seagull. But as I'm doing this, I thought that I would tell you guys a little bit about what's been going on. So I have been at my job for almost a month now, and I'm loving it. I've traveled twice so far. I've been to California, which is where my headquarters are. It's a different part of California than my last job was. This is actually Southern California. I was in Northern California. So I fly into LA, which is a totally different experience. One of my accounts is down in Florida, so I will be going down there fairly frequently, and it's beautiful down there, so I love going down there. I don't mind it at all. Not too far away from Disney, so I may have to take an extended trip one of the times when I go down there, but I am going to be going a couple times a year. I will also be going to Texas, and which I've never been to Texas, so I'm very excited about that. San Antonio, and I think Houston is the other area that my accounts are in. And then I have two in Kansas City, which is interesting because I've never been there either. So lots of new adventures for me this year. I actually get to go to San Antonio this summer. It's supposed to be 100 and something degrees, and we're going to be outside doing some charity work, think building houses for wounded warriors. So I hope that they just allow me to do some painting or something, because I don't think anybody wants a house that's built by me. But it's going to be a lot. I know it's going to be a lot of fun. It'll just be really hot. So I'm looking forward to doing that kind of stuff and to getting more acclimated to my job. School is crazy. This weekend I have, I think, 5 or 6 assignments that are due between Saturday and Sunday. So I'm doing this voiceover very late at night, so hopefully it makes sense, but I wanted to get this video out. I did the card a while ago and I completely forgot to do the video because I think I was getting ready. I either had just come home from California or I was getting ready to go to California, one of those two, and I just didn't get a chance to do this voiceover. So hopefully everybody is doing well. The kittens turned 2 the other day, which is super exciting. which means that in a couple weeks I will have had them for 2 years. They were 3 weeks old when I got them. Oh, they're doing really, really well. They're crazy. They're in their terrible 2 time period, but they are also, for as terrible as they can be, they're also super sweet. Oh, I'm glad that they're here. My life would be boring without them. You will see Brownie at some point in this video because he does decide that he wants to pop up, which he usually does. Oreo doesn't jump up onto the desk, but Brownie does. Oreo loves to get on my conference calls and on school. He absolutely loves to be on camera for that. Brownie tends to sit in front of my screens and then just put his paws over top of the screen, and he tries to like scratch at it. He tries to go after the mouse. So they're getting big and they're doing really well. So that's kind of all that's new with me. But let's get back to the card. So I finished all of the stenciling, and now I'm using my craft pick to pick out the rest of those little holes that didn't get punched out all the way. I'm using my scoreboard to score the cardstock in half at 4 1/4. So we have a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card. And then I'm going to use my Barely Arts glue to just put it down to this card base. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to put a sentiment on it. I really didn't even plan on making this into a card, like I said earlier, and it was just a lot of fun. I cannot wait to use the other ones, especially the Christmas one. So I think I'm going to have to try to do that soon. Make sure that you guys come back. I believe it's next week or 2 weeks from now. I can't remember when it is. Tara, Marie, and I are going to have our collab again. So we have a different one coming up. Make sure that you guys check that out. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you have comments or questions, please feel free to leave them below. And I will see you guys again real soon for another video. Bye!